Hi, this is Norm Campo with Performance Metal Shaping. We're here at the 2009 PRI show in Orlando, Florida. We got Midland Brothers English wheel here, and I'm going to show you a little trick on one of the most common things that you got to do that's really sort of a pain in the butt to do. And one of the hardest things to make with an English wheel is a low crown panel. That's basically starting, a low crown panel will be like a door skin on a car, roof panel on a car or an aircraft. Something where you get a little bit of a crown. What happens is a lot of guys will go in and they'll take an English wheel and they'll start going into a panel back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and turn their radius and do the same thing. The problem that happens is the panel ends up looking like this. And what happens is we got the contour that we want. We're starting to develop that low crown, and we're starting to develop that low crown, but the panel's going in every different direction that we don't want it to go. Now we got to get rid of all this. What's happening is that we're raising the middle, we're actually causing some excess material to go to the outside. Little trick I found, oddly enough by watching a video, was to go to a shrinker stretcher, and before you start, the very first thing you do is you go to the shrinker stretcher and you basically put a light shrink all the way around the outside edge. What that's going to do, it's going to pull the panel into the direction that you want it to go, okay? It's going to pull the panel into the direction you want it to go, and it's going to keep it that way. It's not going to distort on you. So just by going around to the outside edge, we've actually started to get the panel into where we want to go. You notice the middle's flat. You notice the middle is flat, and the outside edges are starting to come down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this wheel, and we've already got our panel stretched out. We already got our panel shrunk all the way around the outside edge. We're going to go into this wheel, we're going to bring it down, we're going to add a little bit of tension, not a lot. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going back and forth. I'll show you guys after what kind of tracking pattern we're using. And I'm actually pulling down a little bit, not a heck of a lot, but I'm actually going down a little bit. Give it a little bit more tension. If it falls out, grab your wheel, spin your wheel like that, and then it just grabs it in. Be very careful when you spin your wheel like that, because it'll tend to want to drag your fingers in. And trust me, it makes for the neatest blood blister you ever saw. Now we're going to go in the other direction. We're going to do the same thing, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. And we're going to go back around one more time, checking to see what we've got for low crown contour. And if you notice, my panel isn't going in all sorts of different directions. It's sort of going in the same direction that I want it to go. The panel I showed you guys before was going in all sorts of crazy directions. Now we got a lot of curve this way, and we're getting some curve this way. Now we're going to go in this direction. Keep working your panel a little bit. There we go. Now if you notice, we're getting some crown this way, and we're getting the crown where we want it to go. That's how basically you get the panel to go in the direction that you want to go without it getting all distorted on you. Now, the last little thing I'm going to show you, say you want to raise your panel right in the middle, right here. I'm going to show you a tracking pattern, and what it's going to do is you're going to come down with your wheel, you're going to go all the way down, back to forth, right in the middle. We're going to stop at the back side, we're going to stop at the top, go all the way down, all the way back. We're going to stop at the back side, stop at the middle, all the way down, all the way back. What happens is, for every one time we go the length of the panel, we hit 2 times in the middle. That'll raise out your center. So if you got to get more crown in your center, we're going to do this relatively quick. We're sort of short on time here. And the way it works is like this. Now, the width of this is, right now, the wheel I'm using is about half to 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch to a half an inch. You have to overlap by 50%. If you don't, you're going to get all sorts of lines on your panel. What I'm doing is I'm actually causing this panel, for the center of the panel, to raise just a little bit. We're going to reverse our panel here. And all I'm doing is I'm going all the way back, halfways, all the way back. Halfways, all the way back. Halfways, all the way back. Unfortunately, it probably doesn't show it on camera, but we have raised this panel a little bit. We've got a higher crown, and we've given ourselves a higher crown right in the middle than we have at the outside edges. Now the outside edges, where we did go with the shrinker stretcher, and it did get a little bit chewed up, around the outside edges where we did get a little bit chewed up, what we're going to do here is all we're going to do is, I usually leave about a half an inch around each side of the panel, and then we trim it off, and then we have a nice finished panel when we're done. That's so much for this demonstration. As I said, my name is Norton Campo. I'm with Performance Metal Shaping. And this is a Mittler Brothers machine. Thank you for your time.